What is good, CGS family? You are tuned into season 2, episode 204 of True to Size.
I feel like that's wrong.
It's super. I should have been like episode 4. So
yeah, I think that implies that season 1 was also several hundred episodes.
It was though. It was. Yeah.
I just think that good try. Good try.
I'm gonna keep doing it till we figure it out.
We're far too deep into this podcast for us to do more than one take for the intro, especially for people who are on the podcast every week. So like we don't even give it to guests, let alone to Alvin. So
no,
sorry,
I don't need a second one. That was a good intro. I'm good.
It was an intro. You're right. What's going on, everyone, and welcome to True to Size. We are a weekly podcast centered around the wild world of sneakers. I will be your host today. My name is Lawrence Hopkins, and I'm joined by the rest of the quarantine at Canada Got Soul, Mr. Joel Hernandez.
Yo, yo, yo.
And Mr. Alvin Martinez.
What up?
Not much, thanks. So, we're back. We were off last week. We had prior commitments last week. We do apologize. We were on a roll, too. We were like 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Felt good. I was like, yeah, we're in the zone right now. Like, just kidding. It's been 2 seasons. Second season, that's different vibes now, you know? It's like, hey, we're all adults now in the second season. Second season is where it's like a coming of age story, and this is where we all grow up, right?
It was like when Dwayne Casey was coach of the Raptors, and then DeMar DeRozan would get hot, and then he would call a timeout. That was what happened yesterday. We were hot on a streak, and then we called a timeout.
Yeah, we called a timeout.
And then we subbed them out, too. So
you know what that means? This episode's going to be ice cold. We're about to go 0 for 8 from the field over the next 3 minutes and lose a 10-point lead.
Oh my God.
Oh, damn.
Good times.
Good old days, yo. Good old days.
This was a great segue because I wasn't planning for the second time in a row to do a pre-podcast fire round question, but this basketball talk just inspired me. And it's Thursday, June 2nd today at 7:47 p.m. And in an hour and 13 minutes ish is game 1 of the NBA Finals. We have the Golden State Warriors taking on the Boston Celtics. A 7-game series, East versus West. One of the two of the most storied franchises, two of the franchises that have been around since the beginning of the National Basketball Association in like 1940 something. Apparently, Golden State used to be in Philadelphia. I didn't know that. They used to be the Philadelphia Warriors.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Wow. It's your fun fact. Fun fact for the day, trademark. So my question to you guys, while we are talking about basketball, who do you guys got and in how many games? Joel, you can go first.
Okay, I'm going to say Golden State in 6. Bay Area.
I like it. I like it a lot. Alvin, your pick.
It's tough, man, because I have mad love for both teams because the Raptors aren't playing. Am I allowed to expand? Is that all right?
Please do. Yeah, it's our podcast. I'll ask the owner. Yep, you're good.
Damn.
Yeah, you're good.
Thank you. He said you're good to come in. Yep.
Thank you. But like, I love Tatum and what he does. However, Steph Curry has roots in Toronto.
He does.
And I'm already a huge fan of Steph Curry to begin with.
Yep.
And I wouldn't mind seeing him get a 4th ring.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Golden State in 7 because the series have been so good going up to the finals. So I'm feeling like this is a game 7 type situation because both teams are pretty good, man.
They're really good.
They match up pretty well, so we'll see. Unless the Splash Brothers actually become, the regular Splash Brothers again.
That's a thing. It's crazy because they made it to the finals, and I feel like we still haven't really had a full stretch of games where the Warriors have looked like the Warriors. Clay has a good game, Steph has a good game, but alternating. You have Wiggins and Wiggins
stepped up this year though. So
you had Jordan Poole had a couple off nights. You had Gary Payton has been out. Like Andrew Wiggins has been streaky, so I feel like we haven't seen the full Golden State arsenal yet. We haven't seen their full potential, which is scary because they're in the finals and they've been playing meh as for their standards.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go with Golden State in 6 as well. I'm gonna agree with Joel. Championship pedigree, man. It's just so tough. Yeah. To especially Jaylen Brown, like Jason Tatum, still so young, first time in this kind of position. It's just like the only person who really, Marcus Smart is like a little bit of a veteran, and Al Horford, but it's Al Horford's first finals.
His first finals, yeah.
So I just think that, you know, character and grit and experience are going to take over. And Warriors in 6. I think, which would have them winning on the road.
On the road.
Yeah. So it's going to be I'm just happy basketball's back. It's been gone for like 4 days and I've been like chomping at the bit. Like,
man.
And then all of a sudden, after this, no basketball for like 4 months.
We gotta join a league, guys.
We do gotta join a league, like a shuffleboard league or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shuffleboard looks mad fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Shuffleboard is the one where you have that like
the stick,
and you push that,
and the
puck. Like a puck.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, Joel's in. Joel's down.
That looks pretty dope.
It does look fun, right?
I already ordered a jersey, so.
All right. Jerseys for the shuffleboard jersey.
Yeah.
Is our team named the Shuffle Bros?
Oh no.
We'll brainstorm names throughout the episode. If you just think of something, literally just scream it at the top of your lungs. And at any time. We have got a fantastic show for you guys this week. Yes, a fantastic show. Kicking it off with a great fire round question and moving right into some news that has most of the sneaker world in an uproar. We love a good uproar. After that, we have a very interesting EEE that I really wish we knew about 3 years ago. And finally, we are revisiting a super old discussion topic. I think we talked about this when we were in like the double-digit episode numbers. It's been a long time. Previous episodes discussion topic, but today, never stop learning, kids. Today, I learned that what we talked about is actually a deep philosophical theory that they actually study in school. So we're gonna bring it back, and we're gonna talk about it again, but in the philosophical sense, so we sound even smarter. But first, Joel.
Fire round.
That's right, the fire round. We like to start every show with a quick hitting question from you, our listeners. And this week's question comes from me. It seems like anytime we take a week off, people are like, I bet I'm going to take a week off too. And they don't send in a fire round. I can't blame them. I can't blame them. Like if we're mailing it in, you guys should too. But we do appreciate when you do send in fire rounds. But anyways, so this is coming off the heels. I recently moved, not recently anymore, but I recently-ish moved and had to, like, as everyone does, downsize a little bit, decide what has to stay, what has to go. A lot of it came down to like all these shoes sitting in front of me. And I'm like, do I care enough to move you, like move you to a different location? It's a hassle. We all know this now. It's a hassle to move anything, but moving sneakers is just a pain in the ass. So it came off of the thought of that. And I want to know, because I did get rid of a bunch of stuff, what's a shoe in the closet right now that you may never wear again, but you will also never get rid of?
Ooh,
I'm sure we all have those pairs.
Yeah.
We all have those pairs that are just like maybe beat, don't go with your style anymore, whatever it may be. But you could just never, ever see yourself getting rid of that shoe. Just couldn't do it. It's going to stay with you until it's dust, or you are dust, whichever one comes first. Someone's going to be dust. Someone or something is going to be dust. Something. Hopefully it's something. Yes. Let's start with Alvin first. Put you on the spot.
Oh my gosh.
A shoe that you may never wear again, or probably haven't worn in a long time. That means, but you will also never be able to get rid of.
I mean, I know the one shoe. Like, if I ever had to get rid of my full collection, the one shoe I'm keeping are my wedding shoes. And no, like, I have no desire to wear them. I do have a desire sometimes to take pictures of them just because they're.
You
so
have
beautiful.
the regular Concord still, right?
I do not.
Oh, interesting.
When you guys got me those, I was like, I don't need any other Concords. These are these are the ones.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm talking about the DMP 11s, the Defining Moments Pack 11s with the black and gold and just the gorgeousness. Those were my wedding shoe. I will never part with those. So if I had to sell my full collection, those are never leaving. There's just too much sentimental value. And like I barely wear them now. Like,
I was gonna say you don't wear them often at all, anyways, right? Like at that point, it would have to be a pretty special occasion, anyways.
Yeah, I think the last time I wore them was maybe my anniversary a couple years ago.
Fair.
And that's like wearing them out, and then like that was it. Even now, like I just want to keep them in the box just because. But yeah, I'll say those for now. I can't really because anything else right now that I think I would keep, even though I don't wear, I probably wouldn't keep. I'd probably sell them or just like give them to like someone who's my foot size, you know?
Fair.
True.
I much less sentimental, but still enough. Something that I don't think I could ever get rid of, but I probably will also never wear again. There's actually a couple that come to mind for me. Like I have a really strong attachment to a lot of the Jordans that I bought in like the first year that I was collecting shoes because they just mean a ton. Because at the time, like anybody, when you're first getting into something, those are like every new shoe you get is like a grail. It's like, yes, this is the best thing ever because you have like 5 pairs of shoes. It's like the next one is always the best one. I'm gonna go with my Aqua 8s.
Nice.
Not even sure what 2007.
That's a good one. I think
something,
probably
something
07.
like that, like 07. I got them a couple years after that. Again, when I first started collecting sneakers, I paid resale for them. But that was like my first that I can remember, at least my first like grail, like Jordan grail. Like, was shown like pictures of it after I started collecting. I was like, damn, these are so cool. With like the carpet on the tongue and like the crazy colors and like the purple and the teal. And I was like, these are insane. And then when I got them, like wore them so super sparingly. Like I'm sure if I took them out of the box right now, they'd look like came out last year. Like I kept such good care of them. But it's now 2022, and they're first of all they're 9.5 because again when I started collecting sneakers I was still thinking my foot was growing. I was in like grade 11 or whatever, so I was like, no, I don't want to buy.
You never know. I want to wear them later.
Yeah,
exactly. I was like of that age. I was like, I don't want my foot to grow, and then all these shoes are useless.
Yeah, fact.
So I was going a half size up or sometimes a full size up for about a year. But yeah, so I don't do the whole wearing a shoe that's too big for me anymore, but they're just still sitting in the closet behind me, just like would have such a hard time parting with them because of like the memories and like all the stuff that's attached to them. So that's probably it.
I hear that, bro.
Don't think I'd ever wear it. It's a Jordan 8. Like, don't foresee myself ever really reaching for a Jordan 8 Aqua.
Give it a year.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, at this point, they're like 15 years old, so I don't know if I would trust them to not crumble.
Yeah, that's facts too.
They're getting up there in age. Same, but yeah. You know the vibes.
This guy said same. Get out of here.
Joel, your shoe that you...
Oh, man. Just like you guys, I'm going to go with a Jordan as well. And I'm going to attach sentimental. Like all my shoes got a lot of sentimental values, but the one that I'll probably never wear and I'll probably never part with are the 01 black cement 3s.
Yes.
Just because like when me and Mary first started dating, like back in the day, and those were pretty much like you said, like the grail. Like I've always wanted to get my hands on a pair of 01s, especially because with the whole Nike Air on the back, on the heel tab and stuff like that. And I've always wanted a pair, and it just so happened that when they had them over at Goodfoot on consignment, and I was able to get a pair when we first started dating, and it just took me by surprise and shit, and then I was like, fuck, man, like when you achieve that grail, and it's just like your weight's off your shoulders, you're like, what on the ride home, I was like sitting shotgun, and I had the shoe out on the dashboard, and I was just looking at it while we were just driving, and then it's just one of those things, man. Like you're just super excited to finally achieve that grail, and it's probably the shoe that'll never probably. I'm looking at it right now, and it's like all oxidized.
I was gonna say those are probably close to dust already.
Yeah, it's like white right now, and I remember the midsole started to crack on me, and will I do a swap with them? No. Will I get a heel tab swap with them? No. I'm just gonna keep them as is, let them age on its own.
Thanks.
And just go with it, man. Like even Mare saw it, like when she was down here, when we were like, bringing her dad's stuff down here in the basement, and she was looking at it, she's like, oh man, aren't you gonna get rid of those? And I'm like, you got those for me. Like, like, no, I'm never gonna get rid of them at all. Like, and it's just it's one of those shoes that just hit you, like it just hits home for you, you know what I mean? So I'll never get rid of that shoe at all. At all. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go with that. 01 black cement 3s, man. Grail.
Great answers all around. And that's what I was assuming we were gonna get, is a lot of really good stories. So I'm glad that we did. If you would like to submit a question for the fire round and have us answer it on the pod, please shoot us a message on Instagram or email us at canadagotsoul@gmail.com. Next up, the CGS picks. Each week, we all pick an upcoming sneaker to analyze, dissect, and give our thoughts on. Then we decide if it's poop, scoop, whoop-de-whoop, or Joel's favorite phrase,
say tre, super cute.
I only did that because I saw Alvin slowly raising the mic to his mouth. I was like, no, not this time, Alvin. Not this time. And you know what? To switch it up even more, I'm going to go first.
Plot twist.
Who could have saw that coming? And my pick this week is, I feel like I'm such a not a basic bitch, but like a basic Lawrence. Like I just feel like every pick I have is just me, which is like annoying. Like I know myself, but also it's like,
man. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
No, you're staying true to size.
True to size.
They said the episode ends. Anyways, we're stupid. My pick this week is pretty cool one. So it's been kind of teased for a long time. So a little bit of backstory, because there is a pretty cool story behind this shoe. In 2008, Concepts, little store in Boston, collaborated with Nike SB on some Dunk lows. They did a red, a blue, and a very, very exclusive, I think they said like 40 something pairs or whatever, yellow pair. Fast forward like 10 years, 2018, they do two more. They do a purple and they do a green. The reason they did a purple and a green is because those were the combinations of some of the original colorways. When you combine red and blue and yellow, you get purple and green respectively.
Yeah.
So that's why they did that. But the last colorway, if you combine red and yellow, gets you orange.
Ooh.
So that never actually released. Everyone was like, okay, what about orange? Like, what the hell? Why didn't you do orange? Like, come on. Now it appears we're getting an orange lobster SB in 2020, in 2022. So Mr. Friend of the show, very good friend of the show, creative director, I believe is his title, at Concepts, Mr. Dion Point, was recently spotted at a Boston Celtics game wearing said orange lobster Nike Dunk SB low. Again, they had been rumored. The rumors started to swirl up like a month ago that they were like coming back soon. And now Dion Point wearing them is obviously like, okay, they exist somewhere, right?
Yep.
Currently rumored releases Black Friday. I, with no actual backing, think they're going to come out in August. So you heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
You heard literally nothing here first. In my personal opinion, they're going to come out in August. So when they do, you guys can all go to Zed Sneakerheads or all these other things and be like, you're wrong. You're not a good sneaker leaker. Lawrence knows everything. You can all say that. Yeah, these are really, really cool. I've actually I don't own a single pair of the Lobster Dunk lows. Never really been my cup of tea. The yellow one is really cool. The red and the blue are just meh to me. The purple and the green were the better pack, in my opinion. The orange is very nice. I do like the orange a lot. The blue elastic on the toe really sets off the whole shoe.
Yeah.
White tongue, white laces is just like, mwah. So yeah, the black midsole kind of throws me off on the orange, but I'll live. But yeah, would hope to be able to get my hands on these. These are a scoop for sure. I don't know if it's a resale pair that I would go for. My only concern is if I get them, will I then feel obligated mentally to go and get the other 5 pairs? So I'm scared to open the can of worms there, but we'll see. These are very, very nice. I like them a lot.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah,
they look really good.
As Alvin mentioned, great shoe haul shoe. So
orange,
a little bit of orange. Alvin, what is your pick for us this week?
Because you switched it up and got Kuya Joel to do it.
Whoa.
I'm also going to switch up my pick.
Oh,
because you are also being true to yourself, and being the real Lawrence and true to size. I'm going to be true to myself recently because I've been hella into mules. Shout out to Lawrence for getting me onto the pick. But I'm going to be talking about another mule. And it's the Bryant Giles and New Balance 2002 R mule.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, mules, man, like they're just so easy. If they're comfortable, it's a wrap. Like they're so easy to put on. They're like a flip flop, but they cover your whole front foot. But yeah, these ones are pretty cool, man. Literally, the front half is a 2002 R, and then it looks like they just cut off the back half.
Yep.
And then it's laceless. This particular one is it looks like it's like a sail with some dope designs on it or art on it by Bryant Giles. And what I like about it is they didn't even change the midsole. They kept the 2002 R midsole on there. And yeah, it's a mule. I kind of want these, man. Mules have been my thing. Like that's all I've been rocking recently.
Yep.
And I feel like these would be a dope summer mule. Just because it's got the different colors on there, kind of, but at the same time, it's super neutral, so you could literally rock anything with it.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna call these a super cute right now, for now, but yeah, these are pretty sick.
We got to get you, my friend, into a pair of Birkenstock Bostons.
I've been. Oh, dude. Don't even get me started on those.
They're not that expensive, man.
I know. That's why. Don't get me started on those, man.
The Birkenstock website has Afterpay.
I know.
I know right now.
I know. I saw the. I know that. I think it's the Concepts that still has pairs. It's like that light blue one.
Oh, the teal one
or the teal one,
like the felt.
Yeah, and they have Sezzle. So I've been contemplating.
Contemplating? No, I thought there was something there.
Contemplating.
Thought there was something there. There wasn't really.
I've been trying to conceptualize them on my feet.
That's it.
That's the one. Yeah. I lost you on
conceptualize.
But yeah, man, I definitely a goal to eventually purchase a Birkenstock. But we'll see. We will see. I'm really trying to behave this year, man. Really trying to behave.
Alvin, I saw you enter a raffle on Instagram. We follow each other. Just remember,
I enter bear raffles, bro. If I win, that's up to God.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
If I don't win, then I'm being a good guy.
Looks like they actually have your size in the orange as well, Alvin.
Oh, the shoe haul one.
The shoe haul Bostons. Looks like they might also have it in the navy one.
Ooh, navy's been my color for the summer too.
Shit.
They got like a full size run. Up to a 41.
Say less. What? Kate? I gotta convert that. I think I'm a 43.
Size down in these though.
Okay, so 42.
Oh, they got like a full size run in the teal one. We could all get these. They got from a 36 to a 46.
Are they on sale yet?
Holy crap.
They've been on there for a while.
They're not on sale, but they feel like they should. I feel like there's like maybe a promo code.
I'm gonna wait. Yeah, that's why. We'll see.
I do like those a lot.
They've been on there for a while.
They dropped in like December.
Yeah, so it's been a minute.
It's been sitting, yo.
We'll keep an eye out. You guys heard it here first. It might be a team shoe.
I'm down. I've been wanting another pair because I have my 2 Stussy pairs, but I'm so like, I don't want to ruin them.
You don't want to ruin them.
Yeah, because I just love them so much.
But it'd be dope if you had a rotation. Then you could just, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I got you, bro.
That's why I just want to buy like a GR pair.
Canada got mules, baby.
Oh no,
that's not a.
Yeah, True to Mule doesn't sound like a good podcast.
True to Mules. Damn.
True to Mule.
Damn, they got the magenta pair too in a full size run, dog.
Oh, magenta.
Yo, if anyone listening works at Concepts, hit us up because we would love to do some.
Yo, link it.
Facts.
Run it.
I think there's a Concepts in New York. I'm going there. Anyways,
do it, guy.
Joel, your pick this week. Well, I browse the Concepts website.
All right, so my pick is the Nike Dunk Low Split.
Jeez.
All right, so this shoe here, I don't know if it's GS sizes right now. I'm not too sure if there's men's sizes yet, but wow! All I can say is wow. So you got white, tan, black, and green on this shoe. So the upper is like all white. You got tan like all over the top of the shoe as well, like on the the what do you call that? The heel counter and on the toe and whatever. You got the white midsole, and you got a gum bottom.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at the shoe and I'm like, shit, it's got me all split, yo. So the split on this shoe is it's very subtle. So what it is, it's a split between like white nylon, a white nylon, and a white ripstop. And that can be seen on the outer part of the shoe, which is what the medial side. No, on the lateral side of the shoe, and it's like right underneath the swoosh on it. But yeah, man, these are so nice. You got like I said, you got the green swoosh. You got green the what do you call that? The Dubrays on the shoe as well. So, man, the color blocking on the shoe is fantastic. But yeah, apparently there's like an Air Force One split, same colorways, except the swoosh is split. So you got like green at the front, where the front of the swoosh, and towards like the heel, like towards the back of the shoe, it becomes black. So yeah, man, check it out. These are like super cute. I'd probably want to scoop if they come in men's sizes though. But yeah, check it out. Nike Dunk Low Split.
Got a split.
Like a banana.
Nice.
Ooh.
For some reason, I thought the rest of that sentence was going to be State Farm is there, but that's not. That's not the phrase. Like a banana, State Farm is there.
It makes sense. I in my head, it makes sense.
Bananas are always there.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know what? I think the actual line is like a good neighbor.
Like
State
a good
Farm
neighbor.
is there.
Yeah.
And honestly, in 2022, probably more bananas than good neighbors. Just going to say it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I feel that though.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe think about it, State Farm. You're welcome. Like a banana. All right. Next up, This Week in Kicks. This is the part of the show where we discuss the current headlines and happenings in the world of sneakers. And breaking news. Shitty reseller does shitty reseller thing.
Ooh.
So I know. Wild. Who would have thunk it? So well-known reseller from Oregon and the king of the pre-orders, Mr. Zadeh.
I don't know.
I don't know how to say his name.
Just don't call him Zaddy.
We'll call him Zadeh Kicks. He sent pretty much the entire sneaker world into a little frenzy last week when he swiftly and suddenly just dissolved his business out of nowhere. So if you're unfamiliar, he is the infamous guy who offers pre-orders on seen and unseen sneaker releases as far as an entire year in advance of the actual release date. So pretty much as soon as a sneaker is even rumored, there could be like a leak on Zed sneakerheads for the Orange Lobster. And all of a sudden, Mr. Zadeh is like, all right, pre-orders are open kind of thing. He opens them immediately. And obviously, the sooner you get in, the less the price is. He just completely randomly disappeared off the face of the earth. And obviously, people are pissed because he had a lot of people's money. He sent an email notifying everybody that the business was entering a receivership and that any concerns from the creditors could be sent there, which essentially means I had to do a lot of research because this was like super technical and like legal jargon business stuff that I was not familiar with. But essentially, he had more debts than profits. Didn't know how to pay them off, and needed it. Basically, you get like a mediator to help you pay off your creditors. His creditors being all the people who had pre-ordered shit who he could not actually acquire pairs for. This is coming why it came at such a bad time for most people. Excuse me. It came at such a bad time for most people because he literally just like very recently opened pre-orders for the Chicago ones that were like confirmed, semi-unconfirmed, and he was selling them for mad cheap, like dumb cheap, and people were dumping money into this. Like looking just through Twitter and like through feeds and Reddit or whatever, there's people who have like 6-figure, 7-figure dollar amounts.
I heard
invested, quote unquote, invested into this guy, giving him 100,000, 200,000, 800,000, millions of dollars to pre-order shoes that they would obviously then flip. So a lot of stuff is coming out now about it's rumored that, so essentially, before we get into that, essentially this is a Ponzi scheme. If anyone's familiar, he's basically taking in new money to pay for old money, and he's never actually like fulfilling a whole lot. He's fulfilling just enough to get by. And that's obviously not how you run a business. That's illegal. A good friend of the show, not a good friend of the show, a person of knowledge of the show, Bernie Madoff, went to jail for a long time for doing that Ponzi scheme. And it's not good. If you're unfamiliar, look it up. It's kind of crazy. It's like a pyramid Ponzi, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, it's coming out now. Sorry, this is like just such a deep fucking story. It's like there's so much going on. It's coming out now that apparently a lot of people think, can't confirm, not going to confirm, we're not going to be the fake news podcast. A lot of people think, and it seems very likely, that a lot of his pairs actually just came from StockX.
What?
Like he was literally taking the money, because he also said like, oh, I have up to like 6 months to fulfill your order after the release date.
Oh my god!
He gave himself such a huge runway. So I mean, first of all, if you're giving someone money today on like whatever June 2nd for a shoe that comes out June 2nd, 2023, and then they have 6 months to fulfill it, that's like December 2023. Just to think about that for a second.
Jeez.
Yes. So realistically, this man, I mean, if he was smart, which is also probably what he did, because apparently the FBI is involved now, which is like insane.
Oh my gosh.
You're basically giving this man an interest-free loan for 18 months.
Yeah, bro.
And he can do whatever the hell he wants with it. And maybe he had his money in a bad place, and that's why.
Oh my gosh.
He had to default his business. Anyways, it's coming out now that apparently a lot of his pairs came from StockX. I'm sure he did have plugs. I'm sure he was getting backdoors, but the quantity with which he was doing pre-orders in, he always had videos and shit on his Instagram from like his warehouse and stuff. I always remember seeing them pop up on my feed. He had tons of pairs. He doesn't have that many plugs. Apparently there was this whole Twitter thread about like public information from StockX and stuff, and how somebody under this username was related to him or whatever, and they had like the #1 buying account on StockX. It's some crazy shit. But yeah, so I mean, people obviously, rightfully so, are pissed and scared. Anybody who paid with PayPal seems to be getting their money back, which is good. Apparently, sneakerheads single-handedly or multi-handedly, I guess, crashed the PayPal support center on the day all this came out because of all the demand of people being like, fuck, what's going on? Yeah. So much so that like PayPal had internal memos about the situation because it was so large scale. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like, it's crazy. Again, and it sucks too for a lot of people because PayPal is great. Chargebacks on your credit card help. But if you were like many people, I'm sure, and you placed a pre-order like 8 months ago,
you're
not going to get your money back.
No.
As like, it sucks to say, but you're not going to get your money back because you can't charge back after like 3 months. PayPal is good for like whatever, 180 days maybe or whatever. Like, you're kind of screwed, which is really sad because like not every, like a lot of people, sure, people invested 6-7 figures in him. sure those people will be fine. I'm sure those are actual registered businesses and they can just like figure it out. But Joe Schmo, who just wanted to get a Chicago's and pre-ordered them and all of a sudden is out $280, whatever the guy was charging, is like, it's not cool, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's stressful, bro.
Sneaker swindler, as people are calling him.
Yeah.
Sneaker swindler.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, wild times. I never trusted it. It always rubbed me the wrong way. As soon as I saw, it's a year away from the release and I can take up to 6 months to send you a shoe, it's like, okay, you want my $500 for 18 months and you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
All up front, all your money up front. Not even a deposit. Like, come on now. Like, you gotta, yeah. I feel for the people who had their money took though, because that's not good. Try and buy from reputable sources, people. You don't need to pre-order a shoe a year in advance.
I feel for you, but I don't.
Give it to him.
If you're trusting a man for 6 months, you don't even know this guy. You're just taking other people's word for it. You've never done a transaction with him before, and you're trusting him with 6 months.
Yeah,
that you're gonna get a shoe. First of all, 6 months is a long ass time. If I pay you for a shoe, I want it within a month.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
but has he like delivered though? Like
yes, that's the problem.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You got that rep.
He delivered.
He does come with the legit
just enough
shit, but.
Just enough. It seemed like a lot of orders got refunded or whatever, but like you fulfilled just enough to keep skating by to appear legit. Yeah. Like there were people that I saw in Soul Savvy who swore by him up until this point. Who pre-ordered Fragment Travelos for 800 Canadian or whatever, two pairs. God. And then all of a sudden, literally like a month ago, they just showed up. That shoe came out in September or something like that, or like August maybe. They just showed that, so they got them for a really good deal, but like that's the thing. Everyone is legit until they're not. So usually the rule of thumb should just be, if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, which is something that gets preached in sneakers a lot because there's a lot of people out for other people's money who are just shitty people.
Gee.
Yeah. Sneaker swindler.
Yep.
I feel bad for you. Alvin doesn't. Moving on.
Nope.
Next up, previously in Kicks. This is the part of the show where we review our latest pickups and recap the latest happenings in our sneaker lives. 2 weeks off. Eventfully uneventful 2 weeks. But Joel, any pickups for you or any happenings for you?
Okay, so one day I was pulling the whip out of the garage. And it was raining. It was a rainy day. And the way that my driveway set up, I got the CRV on the driveway, and then I got my car in the garage. So I start work early in the morning nowadays. So I'm pulling out the car, and it's raining. Like the car's whatever. So pulling out the car, and then I'm coming too close to the garage door rail.
Oh.
So what happened was, my foot slipped on trying to catch, trying to brake. And it actually, like, in slow motion, I looked at my side mirror and it sort of like bent.
Oh, no.
And then all of a sudden it just went, like the mirror just went.
Shit.
And then I was just cussing. It must have been so loud. I was just cussing at like 4:30 in the morning. I was just like swearing. But yeah, so what I had to do is that apparently it's a dealer part, and I had to like actually grab, like, the housing was damaged, so the outer part of the mirror was damaged. It was all cracked. It was all into pieces. My mirror, which is like a censored mirror, so it's like heated.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And sensor, so I couldn't really find like that mirror itself. Like you have to either buy the whole assembly or you have to just buy a mirror that's just heated.
Yeah.
And you won't have the sensors showing like your blind spot or whatever. So I went for the other half because I'm not dropping $4 bills from the dealer just for
a mirror.
The whole assembly. I'm getting the whole assembly.
Damn.
But I'm not dropping like, that much money, right? So I went and got that part. I went to get the housing, and then I got my boy to put it in for me. But man, what past couple weeks has just been like
stressful, bro.
Yeah, man.
I don't hear that, guys.
That's so ass.
So that's my pickup, is a mirror and a housing unit for
nice. Got a new house.
Yeah.
Got a new crib. For me, nothing actually for myself, but a couple cool things that like came through. So one, yesterday I was able to hit on the AMM2s on the AMM website.
Nice.
Quite smooth release. Not my size. I've gotten smart-ish and stopped buying my size when I don't intend to keep the shoe. So I'm not tempted to keep the shoe when it comes in. And this is me setting a precursor for the next pickup. But yeah, those are really cool. I picked up a size 12, so still go to somebody. I think that good friend of the show, John, Weekends with Walt, expressed interest in them.
Oh, John.
So we'll see if he ends up taking them. The other one came by way of livestock. Was literally standing in line at Little Caesars waiting for my hot and ready to be ready. It was not hot. It was neither hot nor ready when I showed up.
Okay.
No. It was nothing when I showed up.
It was cold and not ready.
I don't know why they call it hot and ready. It's never either. It's never there. It's just they have to make it. You pull up and you're like, okay, give us 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, so it's just you're baking a pizza. Anyways,
it's not ready. Yeah,
it's not. So it's not ready. So should I just order a medium pizza and not a hot and ready? Anyways, that's rather here nor there. Staying in line, doodling around on my phone, and Livestock happens to randomly restock their pretty much the entire Travis Scott Nike collection on their website. Hit the Soul Savvy monitors. Happened to just be looking around, and I was like, I mean, I'm here. Sure, why not? So I picked up the trainer in the, I think it's sage. I don't know what they call it. It's like a light gray, light gray with like almost like a chlorophyll green ish on it. It's like a mint, dark mint. I don't know what they call it. I didn't even look. Those are. I wasn't really down to begin with. I picked up my size because of habit, and now I wish I didn't. But didn't really care for them. Like was like whatever kind of thing. And they came in, and I was incredibly impressed. Like very, very impressed. The quality on them is great. The details are nuts. The mix of materials are incredible. Like there's like ballistic nylon, corduroy, suede. Like it's just like the shroud is really cool. The details on the shroud are really cool. Just a well executed shoe. Lucky for me, lucky for everybody who picked them up from Livestock. Livestock was actually selling them for $60 below retail for some reason. Shit. They were selling them at the USD equivalent, obviously by mistake, but the box came in with the sticker that said 210, and I paid $192 after tax and shipping. So that was great. But yeah, if I hadn't had already committed to just like ooping them to a fellow Soul Savvy member, I would have 100% kept them because they look really good in hand, which is probably a blessing because I don't need them.
Do they though?
They do. Bro, just as shocked as you. Just as shocked as you. Though? Didn't even think I was gonna care in the slightest. Promise you. When I posted the story today, everyone's like, "What are you talking about? Not a nice shoe." I was like, "Bro, trust me."
Like this. Okay. So the question for you guys: does a quality of a shoe really change how ugly it is?
It's not ugly in hand. I don't know if it's the picture. Like it's an Air Trainer. Air Trainer, but not with the shroud. Not with the shroud. Not with the shroud. No shroud. Take the shroud. Obviously, take the shroud off. And it's just a very regular looking Air Trainer. Got the zipper on the back. The swoosh is just like this stitched outline on the medial side of the shoe. You have like the typical reverse Travis swoosh. So like, they're good in hand, man. I promise you. Like even I think Joel would really like them because I know he's a trainer guy. I think even Alvin would appreciate them in hand.
Nah,
his face doesn't say it though.
Nah,
I promise you it's the same way.
As good as the materials might be, nah.
I promise you in hand.
And I like regular. I like regular ass trainers, bro. This is I don't know. Something about this one. You can promise all you want. I love you, Lawrence, but nah, bro.
No, I promise.
You can't promise because I'll still think they're fucking ugly in my hand. It's fine.
I just really want to buy another pair now somehow so I can show you in person and be like, bro, look.
Did you already send them out?
They're in the box, but like they're all taped up and shit. Or I would literally crack it open right now. And
no, it'd be a waste of your time.
It's not the same thing though. You need to see it in your hands. Like I had it in my hands. I was like, damn it.
I would throw it like a football.
Revert even worse. Like I didn't even want to I wanted to dislike them.
Go deep.
Like I wanted to not like them. That's why I was like annoyed. Like, oh, dang it, I like them. Like I didn't want to like them.
I mean, I'm happy you like them.
Trust me. I promise. This I promise.
Don't make promises you can't keep, bro.
I don't. I'm gonna buy your size.
I know.
You're gonna regret that too.
I
promise you'll regret buying my size.
Think fast.
I'm gonna buy a size 11.
These are pretty dope.
We'll do I'm gonna buy yours. That's my new goal.
Okay, so Lawrence said yes. That quality of a sneaker will change whether it's ugly or not. What about you, Joel?
The quality of a sneaker?
I didn't. I said it's just a nice. It's a nice shoe in hand. It's just nice.
Okay, but if a shoe has to be nice in your hand,
is
it really that nice?
Yeah, absolutely. Some things just don't photograph well.
I don't know, bro.
Some things are better in pictures.
He's not on it, yo.
Some things are better in pictures. Does that make them a nice shoe because they're better in pictures?
Yeah.
No. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop this. Better in person is what matters.
Nah, not in today's world.
Fucking Instagram.
No, I'm talking shit. But all right.
Size
I'll take your word for it.
Coming up.
Don't worry about it.
No, I'm gonna buy
11 coming up.
I'm gonna pay resale for it too. I'm just fucking buy a pair. Alvin, any pickups for you? Any Travis Scott trainers for you in the last week or 2 weeks?
Yeah, I won the raffle and I didn't buy them because regardless of whether they're in my hand or not, they're still ugly as fuck.
Oh, so
in my opinion, that doesn't matter because I'm just a regular ass dude.
Cranky.
But no, I didn't pick up anything. I did go camping though.
How was that?
That was amazing. So last time I went camping was when I was still like a brand new immigrant in Canada. I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. And like I kind of remember some of it, but not really. But I think I liked it. But like I thoroughly enjoyed this past weekend of camping. Like it was so fun. I think it was mainly because the girls had lots of fun and they totally loved it. So I may be unloading some sneakers to purchase some gear for camping. And I was encouraged by some fellow sneaker friends / brothers, like Aaron, aka Sneaker Life Husband, was like, yeah, bro, just do it. Sell your shoes and get some gear. I'm like, fuck, okay, cool. And then same thing with big bro Chris. He was like, bro, if you do it, we're going camping like tomorrow. I'm like, fuck. So yeah, I don't know. It was literally that fun that like it's definitely, and like the thing is like with camping, it's not as expensive as cottaging, which is renting cottages and shit.
Yeah.
Like it's so much cheaper. Like you pay, I think it was $38 per night, which is nothing. And there was like what, 8 of us, and like that's nothing, right? All you have to do is bring food and bring your gear. So the gear is going to be a dangerous thing, and yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, that may or may not be a new hobby, but.
You should have tried to pick up the Supreme thingy today. The
what was today?
The Streamliner, is that what it's called? Dreamliner, Airliner.
Oh, the
RV.
Yeah, dude.
There's what? I can't afford that, bro. Me selling all my shoes will not allow me to afford that.
$90 grand US.
Oh, that's it.
You can do it,
Yeah. My shoes are worth $5 grand.
Next up, would you rather buy the Supreme RV or Travis Scott Air Trainers?
Supreme RV.
Supreme RV.
Easy.
We love a petty king. Next up, thumbs up, thumbs down. In this part of the show, we give our opinion on various sneaker related topics with zero context or discussion. All we're allowed to say is thumbs up or thumbs down. And inspired by the leak of the Chicago Jordan 1, the images kind of surfacing upon the internet today, featuring the new wave cracked leather. It was first seen on the AMM Jordan 1, also seen on the AMM Jordan 2. Thumbs up, thumbs down to cracked leather.
Ooh.
Alvin.
Down.
Yeah. Joel.
Yeah.
Up.
I'm also thumbs up. Next up, NSR. We talk about sneakers a lot. So in this weekly segment, we're going to take 30 seconds out of the show to discuss something completely irrelevant from the world of sneakers. And we took a suggestion this week. Yes, we did. So a long time ago, 2 weeks ago, we talked about bagels.
Yeah.
Bagels.
Bagels.
Round bread. We talked about bread donuts 2 weeks ago. And this follow-up comes by way of the homie Damad Hatter on Instagram.
Brian. What's up, bro?
Friend of the show.
Yeah, you.
And he has another food-related question for us. More specifically, another bread-related question for us. Bread-related questions or comments are always welcome on this podcast. Big bread fans. And he says, I think we might have talked about this one before at some point. Which way do you guys cut your sandwiches? The rectangle way, diagonally, or the straight way, making the rectangle. What am I saying?
Diagonal.
So the rectangle is a straight way, right? The half?
Straight, yes.
Yeah.
Or the diagonal way, making triangles.
Triangle.
Yeah. That's tough. A great question.
Very tough. I'll start, and this is going to sound stupid, but
never.
If you've listened to all 204 episodes, you've kind of we figured that out by now.
You already know how we are.
I can't explain it. The science isn't there, but it's there in my mind. When you cut a sandwich in the rectangle way versus the triangle way, the triangle way is smaller.
It's smaller,
so it's not as filling.
What?
Because the
rectangle way, you get more. I know it doesn't make sense.
Bro,
I'm working with scientists as we speak to prove this hypothesis. Yeah.
That's area. You have to measure the area.
Oh my gosh.
I know it sounds insane.
Okay. So when you see so same sandwich, okay? No, I get it though. Hold on. Same sandwich.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So when I cut it in half, you're like, oh, those are two bigger pieces, so I'm gonna be full.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas if I were to cut it diagonally, your mind tells you
so small.
You're like, man, I'm gonna need another sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
you know
small.
what I mean?
I get
it. It makes sense.
Think about it this way,
man. The mind plays
it's crazy.
A huge role for
it's
sure.
Crazy. Think about it this way. Maybe don't think about it this way, actually. No, we'll do it. If you cut it into, take another step further and cut it into 4 triangles, which everyone knows, you do the 2 diagonal cuts, it makes a bunch of little triangles.
Yeah.
Those are 1 biters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 4 bites in your sandwich. There's no way, I challenge you to eat the rectangle way.
No, you can't.
In 4 bites. Impossible.
If you cut it in 4 rectangles?
No, just 2 rectangles.
So it becomes square.
Then that's not fair.
4 square.
Then that's not the same.
Sure. Even if it's 4 rectangles versus 4 triangles, you can't eat that.
I got a big ass mouth, bro.
No, you won't. You can't. It's too big.
2 bites.
It's bigger. It's 2 bites.
2
bites. That's 8 bites.
It's like the 2-bite brownies that are only 1 bite, right?
That would be like the triangles.
True. I feel you.
So you're literally getting double the amount of bites.
I hear that.
If you cut it into squares.
Yeah, I get it.
Exception. If I'm eating a grilled cheese and a grilled cheese only, I cut it into triangles because the triangle shape is ideal for dipping. So if I want to dip and I dip my grilled cheese in ketchup
because it's narrow.
It's really good for dipping into something. That's the only exception.
All right. I feel you. Yeah, I get it.
And that is my thesis.
That's science.
That's
some science for you.
Dropping some science on you.
Yeah, that's my data science for you. Eat it. Anyways, Alvin, how do you cut your sandwiches?
To be honest, I haven't cut a sandwich for myself in a while.
That's another thing that we could get into because I don't really cut sandwiches.
Yeah, because I feel like it just takes more time, and if I'm hungry, I just want to,
yeah.
So, but however, I feel like to me though, in my head, because as we mentioned previously with Lawrence's response, the mind plays a huge role.
Mm-hmm.
The diagonal cut makes a sandwich, to me anyway, it makes it look more appetizing. Like it's I find that the triangle cut is more of a nice presentation.
Yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like the rectangular cut, which there's nothing wrong with the rectangular cut, it just to me it doesn't look as appetizing. Like for me, if you cut a grilled cheese diagonally, it looks so much better than if you just cut it regularly.
Half, yeah.
You know?
I think is it because you see it in like, you know, like in like
I think it's because you see more of the middle.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I mean? You see, like when you cut it just regular rectangle, you don't see as much of the middle, if that makes any sense. I don't know.
Or like if you go like to like a restaurant and then, or like one of those, you know, those fucking, like I'm thinking of like a cafeteria kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you get the sandwiches and they have it in that
in the case.
That triangle case.
Why do you think they cut that? Why do you think restaurants cut them that way, Joel?
So you can dip it in ketchup.
So they can save money because they're smaller.
Yeah.
Like MSG. When restaurants cut sandwiches in a triangle, it's like MSG, yo.
You're being cheated.
Yeah.
You're being cheated.
You heard it here first. Science.
Monosodium.
Can't explain it.
Yeah.
I cannot. Joel, how do you cut your sandwiches?
Fuck all that. I just roll it in a donut. and I just roll it like a
burrito.
Yeah,
or
like a burrito, and I eat it like that. Jeez. But first, what I do, I cut off the edges, so I got no edges.
No crust.
Oh shit!
No, I don't do that.
Crust is flavor.
Yeah, I keep the crust. Yo.
That's for the end.
Yeah. You guys ever do the like I'm hungry enough for like more than one sandwich, but like less than two sandwiches? So you do like the one piece of bread just folded in half as the second sandwich.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah. Like one and a half.
Gauge it.
Yeah, 1.5 sandwiches is just sometimes just exactly what you need.
Yeah.
Or do you leave? You know, like you get a loaf of bread, like a loaf of sliced bread from the grocery, and you know how you have that first slice at the front. Do you guys leave that slice and just carry on to the second slice?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I usually leave the butt pieces till the absolute end.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And the thing that gets determines if those are eaten is if there's another loaf of bread or not.
Yeah, the hunger factor depends on how hungry you are and if there's another loaf of bread. And unfortunately, if there is no other loaf of bread, I'm eating the butts.
Correct. Yes.
So
it's not a good sandwich. It's not never.
It's different, you know.
It's smaller. Is definitely smaller. Like
it's like the crust is all over the back.
It's just on both sides.
You know what I mean? On both sides. Like it's not.
It's like different. Slippery. It's like slippery.
Not to knock on anyone who eats the butts of breads, but it's just not our thing.
If you eat butts, all for it.
Bread butts.
Any butts.
No judgment zone if you eat. Luckily now, so we're not wasteful because we back onto like this river. There's always like ducks and shit.
Oh, facts.
Oh, there you go.
So we always go back there and they can eat.
Yeah, I have Max. Yeah. I usually feed the butts to Max.
Yeah,
so.
He's a butt muncher.
He's a butt muncher.
Yeah, Max.
Remember at the top of the episode when I said we took a week off, so we're going to be ice cold? We are red hot right now. I was so wrong. We're going to move on.
Move on.
It's getting close to the line. Moving on. Next up, errors, edits, and e-messages. We are pretty smart guys, but from time to time we make mistakes. So if you catch us slipping, hit us in the DM and we'll let the world know that we goofed. This one comes by way of good friend of the show, friend on Instagram, Mr. Zach James, but with an I. He's messaged us before. And I don't know if we ever got confirmation on, is it a silent I? It's Jaimes.
James.
Jaimes. Yeah. I think it might be Jaimes.
Maybe.
Anyways, Zach, good friend of the show, Zach.
Jaimes.
Zachary sent in a message and said, E. This is in relation to our discussion from last episode where we discussed shoes made for things that don't have a shoe made for them. That sense to make no sense, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says Adidas has actually released a few shoes dedicated to gardening and mowing the lawn.
Oh, yeah?
No lights for walking the dog at night, though. Sorry, Joe.
Oh, man.
That's what he said. Sorry, Jomar.
Sorry.
But yeah, I looked it up. He sent a link with it. 2019, they came out with like a gardening pack. And it was a bunch of like techie sneakers that were literally designed and made exactly for that. Like watering the lawn, mowing the lawn, doing the gardening. And they were, yeah, like ACG, like full waterproof taped seams.
That's
like
sick.
Made for
pretty cool.
Made for exactly that. So there you go. Thank you to our friend Zachary.
Jeez, that's
Wow.
awesome.
It is very awesome.
That.
That's what I mean. I wish we knew about that in 2019. I would have cop. I don't think any of us had a garden in 2019, though. That would be why. Next up, our main discussion. So if you'll remember, I call it way back. We had a discussion a long time ago about like changing a sneaker and when has it gone too far and when is it not the original sneaker anymore, i.e. getting a sole swap. Is it the same shoe? Is it a different shoe? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We had this conversation way long ago, ton of time ago, like years ago. Today, I found out that there is actually a philosophical theory surrounding exactly this topic and theme. It's called the Ship of Theseus Paradox. Okay, I did a lot of research on this, so bear with me.
Whoa.
So the story goes, the ship of Theseus is obviously a ship, like a boat. And as the planks of this ship needed repair over time, it was replaced part by part up to a point where not a single part from the original ship remain in it. Is it then still the same ship?
Ooh.
Is the question. So this is very similar to a discussion that we had a while back regarding if I soul swap this sneaker, is it still an Air Jordan 3? Or is it still my Air Jordan 3, you know? So the first question that I'll ask in relation to this paradox, as they call it, is it the same ship? Alvin, is it the same ship?
I will say
there's no wrong answer, by the way. That's what a paradox is.
Philosophically, if it appears to look the same, then it is the same ship. Because other than the people who knew that the parts were changed, if you don't know that parts were changed, then you will still think it's the same ship.
Good point.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but yes.
Great point.
You're right. You're right.
Great point. Great point. I do want to, before we move on, and I'm going to ask Joel the same question, is it the same ship? I would love, just for a second, to call out and praise us for our diversity in discussion this week, because we went from butt muncher to the Ship of Theseus Paradox in about 60 seconds. Our range is incredible.
Yo,
crazy.
Find another podcast.
204 episodes, baby.
Find another pod. Just try. Just try. Just do it indeed.
Not happening.
No, doesn't exist.
Nope.
Probably lucky for the world it doesn't exist. Joel, is it the same ship?
All right. So all the pieces were from another ship.
They're just slowly replaced over time. Every single piece. Doesn't necessarily mean it's from a different ship. It's just, a plank here, a rod there, a flag there. Over time, every single piece was changed. It could be over the course of 1 year or the course of 1,000 years. But at the end of it, every single piece on that, down to the last nail, are different from the original.
But it's still the same ship.
Rebuilt over time, yes.
So it's just rebuilt.
Yes. Slowly until every piece was different.
It's the same ship.
Why? Do you know why?
It's the same ship because aesthetically, when you look at it, it's the same ship. But like what Cuzzo said, if you knew that, parts and stuff were put in there, were replaced, or like refurbished things,
yep,
like electronics and stuff, it's still the same laptop, or it's still the same, video camera, but it's just refurbished.
I'm not arguing. I've read a little bit more about this, so I have like a more formulated. I know that some of the answers that people have. Let me dumb it down a touch in two different ways. One, let's think it's not a ship. Let's think it's Alvin's dad hands down to him an axe, a regular wood chopping axe, wood handle, metal axe part, head. What is it called? Yeah, head. 2 pieces. The handle breaks one day, so Alvin has to replace the handle. So it's the original head only.
Yeah.
Then the head snaps off and it falls in a river. So Alvin has to replace the head. Is it the same axe? Is it still his dad's axe?
No. Makes you think now.
When it's less things.
I think you gotta tie it down to appearance though.
Still down to appearance.
In terms of the axe, you can't say that that's still, the same axe, just because you can't really find something that will look exactly like a wooden handle, because every wood has a different grade to it, or whatever, because it's so old. Like there's gonna be like certain marks and stuff on that wood, and then same thing with the head.
Yeah,
I think we decided on head of the axe. Yes,
head of the axe. Yeah, same thing with the head of the axe. Like you probably won't be able to find that same one. However, if it was a really, really, really big axe, and you only chipped off a part of the wood handle, you could replace that.
Yes,
but like on smaller thing, I feel like it ties down to appearance for me. I think. Damn.
Tough, right?
That's why I dropped philosophy first year university.
Tough, right? So we can relate this pretty easily to sneakers, obviously.
Yeah.
And just first and foremost, this is not meant to come for anybody's bag. This is not saying that restoration is dumb or like it's not real or any of that. Just getting out of the way. Just a philosophical discussion like we do often on this podcast. So obviously sneakers. Is it the same shoe? If you just get a sole swapped on your sneaker, like Joel was saying, it was a great preface to this conversation with his Jordan 3s that Mayer got him. How long until it's not the same one, right? If he swaps the sole because it's crumbling, and then he changes the back tab because it's crumbling, and then the laces were kind of like dingy, so we put a new set in. What's the same? Just the upper and the tongue? Is it the same shoe, Joel, to you after all that?
No. It will
has zero consistency.
It won't be, because it won't have the same shape. It won't be the same.
It's not the same pair that stepped on the ground. It's not the same.
Yeah. Like I was going to say, when you put your foot in it, you could feel it. And then once you do a sole swap, it's going to be totally different, because that same, I don't know if it's your mind that's playing tricks on you, or it's like, it's the way you feel, the way it feels is like totally different. That's what I'm saying. From like the original fit.
I agree. I'll chime in on this one. I think that there's a reason that when you have a pair, part of distinguishing that pair is, oh yeah, it's been swapped. Oh yeah, it's been restored, whatever. Same with like a classic car, right?
Yeah.
Or like whatever. Like there's classic cars and they say, oh, the entire body was rebuilt. Oh, so what is classic about this car? It's like it was made 4 years ago, but you're calling it a 1972 or whatever. Like what about it is the classic car? The engine? Because you could just put an engine in a new car then, no? So like it's all very, I don't know. It's very interesting to talk about. But yeah, I agree with Joel. Like there's a reason you say, oh yeah, it was sole swap, because like that's not the Air Jordan sole. It's not the Dunk sole. It's not the Air Max sole, because that one is disintegrating. But then you also come to the decision of, do I let it disintegrate and be the original one and turn to dust? Or do I replace it and it's not necessarily the actual shoe anymore? Because like, let's say, I don't think this is actually a realistic thing that could happen, but Joel sole swaps his Jordan 3 from 2001, puts a new midsole on it and a new back tab on it, and it lasts for another 10 years. And then somehow the upper starts to disintegrate. And he's like, all right, I got to change the upper now. That's different shoe. Yes?
Yep. Yep.
So Alvin is now also switching his position.
But like aesthetically, when you look at it,
it looks the same.
It's a black cement 3.
Yes. That's what I'm trying to get at with like the sneaker way of it. It does not happen often. And it's like you can't, the upper is like, if the upper's done, the shoe's probably done. Like no one's going to say I swapped the upper. Like that's the main part of the shoe. But people do it with cars all the time. Like specifically like, like these antique cars, like, oh yeah, completely rebuilt the body or whatever, or rebuilt the engine. Like those are the two main parts. Like what are the axle? Like you just kept the axle. That's it. It's interesting to think about and talk about.
That's why it's like, it's the aesthetic. So it's a classic. You rebuilt a classic car. The only thing that makes it classic is because it looks like a classic car.
Yeah. But it won't fetch as much as an original car. Like original everything on the car.
But if there was still original everything on the car, it might have disintegrated.
Yeah. Or if it's been kept in like, a proper storage.
I don't know, man.
Like what's worth more to you then? Let's think about it this way. If you were in the market, Alvin, you just picked up your Safari, not just picked up your Safari Atmos Air Max 1, and it had a shitty outsole, right?
Yeah.
Like could not wear them when they would have arrived.
They were done. The midsole was done. Yeah.
But it was original. Is it worth more to you in that state? Or if you got it with the sole swap already done?
With the sole swap already done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
then I wouldn't have I swapped it anyways. Why am I gonna buy something that's broken? Fair. Or why am I gonna purchase as like a collector? Why would I unless it's been something that I've already been able to have memories in. Like if I had those Safaris from time already and I've wore them to shit and like they're beat and like I can't, like the midsoles are done, I'd probably be like you, Joel, and just be like, yo, I'm gonna let them chill. Like I've had my memories in these. But if I am purchasing a sneaker that I have yet to wear, I feel like that's pointless.
Because you want to wear them.
Because I want to wear them.
Because you want to like start your own memories.
Like I want to have my own experiences in that sneaker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like in that sense, like that's why I am all for all that stuff. And like so long as the aesthetic of the shoe is still there, mostly.
Yeah.
I fucks with it. But like I get it though.
I got one more for you guys. I don't know if this is going to bring it all down, like the Inception thing. Everyone's just going to wake up after I do this one. I saw on Instagram, somebody had a pair of Air Yeezy 1s. Obviously, they only came out once in 2009, 10. They're old. Most of them are getting up there now. All of them were the same age. They're all getting up there now. And somehow, I don't know how the fuck you even do this to a shoe, just the outsole came off. Not the midsole. The midsole was fine. Just the outsole. Like the glow in the dark outsole, like the clear bottomed outsole part that has like the Nike logo or whatever. Can't just go and buy a donor and they glow in the dark too. You can't just go buy a donor for that.
Yeah.
So somebody bought a fake pair of Yeezy 1s, took off just the outsole and put it on the authentic pair of Yeezy 1s.
Cool.
Is that now an authentic pair still, or is it a fake pair? And then if it's still real, because it's only a little bit, at what point do they then become fake? How many things have to change? If this is all about aesthetics, especially, how many things you have to change? Because like, I mean, if you do a tab swap, most of the time they're just made by some dude in his garage.
Yeah.
It's not a real Jordan 3. They don't just make those and fucking sell them at Foot Locker. Discuss. Because this one, I don't know where I stand on it. I'm not gonna lie. I can start by just saying like I have no idea because like feels so weird. Like I wouldn't even want to touch it. Personally, wouldn't even want to touch it. If it came to that, let the shoe die, in my opinion. If it comes down to like it's a fake midsole or outsole or upper or whatever versus letting the shoe just disintegrate, let the shoe disintegrate, in my opinion. But yeah, where do you guys stand on that? What are your thoughts?
If you
we're thinking this week. We are thinking.
What if
they had it? They thought they had it easy after the butt muncher stuff.
What if there were mags? What if there were mags and same situation? Let's say you paid fucking $35,000 for your pair of mags, and they came with fucked up outsoles, and that outsole was the only fucking thing wrong with it. And you paid 35 G's. That's a fucking car.
You're right.
I get it. We are, in a sense, purists in terms of like we don't want to deal with any like reps or anything like that. But if I dropped 35K on a shoe and I wanted to rock them and I couldn't because the outsole was fucked, I'm not dropping another 35K to replace that outsole.
Valid.
I will probably drop 1K on a rep pair and replace that. And then I'm going to play that sound. Nobody's going to know. They're going to know. Nobody's going to know. Yeah, who's going to know? Nobody's going to know.
They know.
Because that like it's similar to that ship one where it's like the only person who knows that it's a different ship in a sense is the person who changed all the parts. Because anyone else who sees it is still going to think it's the same shit. Now, I'm not condoning, fake pairs or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, if you're dropping that kind of money on a pair of shoes and your only option is to do it, I'm not gonna hate it, but I'm also just don't tell me. Like, I don't want to know.
He doesn't want to know.
I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
Joel, where do you stand on this?
Yeah, man, and it's just the bottom outsole that just dropped. Like I didn't see the video or anything, but that's what you're saying. So the midsole is still original.
Yes, just the outsole.
Fuck it, that shoe's done. I'm not wearing that shoe no more. Because even if you put that fake outsole from the fake pair, that midsole is gonna go. Any minute, that midsole is gonna go. Like if that bottom part just dropped and you know what I mean, you can't. There's no way of you like saving it, re-gluing it, or whatever, and whatnot, and that midsole is gonna go. So it's like that's where you just like kick off the shoes and roll up your socks and go barefoot, man, because that's it for that shoe, man.
I would hope you could just wear a different pair of shoes, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right. I said that was my last question. There is one more addition to this that may fuck with you or may not. We're running a little long, but if you guys are cool, we'll go into it because this has been an interesting conversation.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So, Mr. Good friend of the show, the philosopher Thomas Hobbes, introduced a further piece of the puzzle. And he wondered if when you were taking these pieces off of this ship or whatever, your axe, whatever, you're replacing them on this ship and you were setting them aside, then used those pieces to then rebuild the ship completely separately over time. Are both of them the ship? Which one is the ship? The new one with the new pieces that was built slowly with the old pieces that are disintegrated, or the original one that had its pieces replaced?
One's an OG, one's a retro. You're talking to a sneakerhead, bro. How many fucking shoes have we had that were not necessarily rebuilt from the original pieces.
Yeah.
Right? But one's an OG and one's a retro. The OG one's still the shitty, like, gonna disintegrate soon one, which is what some of us have in our collections. And then the new rebuilt one is just a retro that's been, built with the same pieces.
Version 1 and version 2.
Which one is the original? In this hypothetical, Alvin, which one are you referring to as the original?
The rusty, ugly one.
So the one that's not original, the new one, the second one,
the one that's first one.
The first one is the one that's going to be shiny and new.
Yeah, so the old
so
that's
disintegrating one is
that's
technically the new one.
Rebuilt.
Yeah. But if you're using the OG pieces to build the exact same ship.
Slowly. This one is technically built after.
Yeah. So the new one is the OG one.
No, the old one's the OG one. The one that you're taking the pieces apart from. And you're building another one, the next one. Right? That's what you're saying?
So like the shoe surgeon is the one taking pieces and building a new one.
If Mr. Shoe Surgeon, he's a good example.
Because he doesn't use the original materials.
He's a good example because he doesn't use original materials or original Jordan, Nike product, whatever. He'll buy a real one and use like just the outsole.
Yeah.
And then build on top of it essentially with like his own shit and then call it a Jordan 1. Is that a Jordan 1?
No.
You say no.
Shoe surgeon one.
Okay. But if he took those pieces that he took apart and built another Jordan 1 with them, is that the original Jordan 1 or is that the rebuilt one?
It would still be considered a rebuilt one.
Even though it's the original pieces?
Yeah. Because you're taking it out from A and you're putting it to C to make a B.
Where's B? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you give it that D.
And you cut it at a diagonal, not at a horizontal.
And you don't eat the butts.
Don't eat the butts. Your dog eats the butts. Or the geese. I will say one thing before we close it out. Because that was very fun. That was
my head hurts.
Thought-provoking. Yes.
I need to go take a nap, yo.
Yeah,
I know.
One of the answers to this paradox, or one of the proposed answers, is actually very close to what Alvin said. And it says, even though the materials it's made of have changed, the shape, the name, and the design stay the same. So it's the same ship. It is the same ship if other people think it's the same ship.
Because philosophically, that's what it is. It's what you perceive it to be.
Yeah.
Damn.
My head still hurts, though. So maybe that first year university philosophy class did help in this conversation.
It did help, yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have dropped it before the exam. Who knows?
Maybe you would have passed.
Yeah.
That's definitely all we got for you guys this week. So wherever you're taking this episode, please leave a comment, review, follow, and or subscribe. Make sure to check out CanadaGotSold.ca to shop the latest CGS merch. Keep the YouTube for our latest videos and check out CGS Talk on Facebook to chop it up with us. Of course, do not forget to use hashtag CanadaGotSold on Instagram for a feature. I have been Lawrence Hopkins, and you can find me at LDoggyStyles on Instagram. Woof.
My brain hurts. I'm Joe Dooney, JO_D3OsNEY.
Just MisterQMart, guys. I tried to queue it up right after Kuya Joel was done, and like my brain can't handle it right now. So
serious.
Philosophically, I'm here, but I'm not at the same time.
But people perceive you to be there, so you are there. Thank you for listening to us talk about sneakers and life for 204 episodes. And please remember to rock your kicks. This has been True to Size. We are sleepy and we are out.
That was fun, yo. I like that. That was a really good conversation.
Very good.
My head hurts, but